The Prime Minister says it will come to Parliament following the finalisation and signing of the treaty, so we will be able to get some accountability on it. But Donald Trump has basically signed it off, the deal to hand the Chagos Islands to Mauritius. They're going to lease Diego Garcia, one of the...
Is politics really as transparent as it claims? Or is it all polished speeches masking deeper deception? Nigel Farage thinks it's the latter. He's exposed scandals involving tariffs, shady international deals, and what he calls outright lies. Linking Trump's trade moves to the Chagos Islands, Farage questions whether Keir Starmer's words are genuine or pure performance. This isn't dry policy talk, it's political theater. Farage comes out swinging, accusing leaders of spinning falsehoods, turning trade into a full-blown battleground of broken promises and doubt.
And we would only agree a deal that we are confident protects our national security and that of our allies.
Nigel Farage.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, the Mauritian Parliament had the opportunity yesterday to debate this at length. It seems perhaps you were rather more reluctant to be here today. Jonathan Powell, our National Security Advisor, has been doing the rounds in Washington, and he's been telling everybody, including the new cabinet members, that
tariffs, once a dull policy detail, now symbolize how politics and economics are deeply entwined, especially post-Brexit. Farage points out the irony. Tariffs meant to protect national interests are now tools in a political game. What should serve the people is just another strategic move. This shift isn't just technical, it's sparking public frustration and exposing the contradictions at the heart of today's trade policies.
Islands, US military bases there for 140 years. Donald Trump says that is powerful and doesn't sound bad. Simon Diggins is with me now. Colonel Simon Diggins, military and defence analyst. He knows these things. He's my favourite military.
Farage says tariffs weren't Brexit leftovers. They were a deliberate move to shift the UK's global role. He delivers this with speed, sarcasm, and zero filter. The issue isn't just trade. It's about hidden deals, spin, and double standards in diplomacy. Farage targets Keir Starmer, accusing him of calculated deception, not mistakes, but a strategy to mislead the public. His bottom line: politics isn't about truth, it's about control, wrapped in performance.
Bring us through these things. Simon, a lot of people feel very shortchanged by this, feel they haven't got the detail in this, they don't know how much it's going to cost either, and on a day when so many people's bills have gone up for lots of other reasons, there seems to be just another cost, and perhaps a needless cost, to the UK exchequer, and a lot of details we just still haven't got. Why has this happened?
Good afternoon to you. The timing, I think, is very interesting, isn't it? Because
trade today is more about politics than economics. Farage blasts Trump's tariffs as symbols of ideological conflict, not fairness. He exposes hidden agendas behind major deals, like the Chagos Islands, approved by the White House, buried in secrecy. For Farage, trade isn't about national interest, it's about elite convenience and moral compromise. His call? Demand truth, not illusion.
In many, many different places. So I can't help thinking this is a really bad deal. But I think for the position of the Americans, they'll be content. They're going to keep their.
They seem to have a good deal about it. Just tell us about Diego Garcia and the strategic importance of that for the Americans. Why will Donald Trump feel this is good for them?
It's a fixed aircraft carrier, fundamentally. It sits in the middle of the Indian Ocean, but from that particular location, they can just deploy some of their strategic bombers, their B-52s, their B-2 bombers, which are...
Farage links trade, national security, and identity together, making policy arguments about a fight for the country's future. He's not talking merely about tariffs, he's asking what they really signify about the nation's place in the world. He demands transparency, cutting through political spin to expose uncomfortable truths that the public often misses. Farage argues that high-level politics sacrifices truth for convenience and warns that we've been sold a distorted version of reality. To him, Brexit tariffs, global trade agreements, and the Chagos Islands row are all pieces of a much bigger political jigsaw. These matters aren't siloed, they're linked, and Farage is constantly exposing the ulterior motives behind them. His criticism isn't policy-based, it's people-based. Farage calls out the political class, laying bare their hypocrisy and challenging viewers to ask questions beyond the establishment narrative. Farage criticizes individuals such as Keir Starmer for manipulating public opinion through lies meant to hold onto power, not to serve the people. He also connects U.S. leaders such as Mike Waltz to problematic foreign policy moves, highlighting a larger trend. The message is explicit. Farage's critique isn't merely an exposé, it's a call to action. He asks the public to hold those in power accountable, calling for transparency rather than rhetoric. Farage's constant drive for the truth and his critical examination of politics today are provoking a reaction, encouraging audiences to question all they have ever been led to believe. Ultimately, Farage's question is, what will we do with the truth now that it has been revealed?